Hey everybody, Coltrane here. I decided to make a video today, just kind of going over my thoughts that I've been having here lately about the Barbarian class in Diablo 4. And a question that I have been asking myself a lot, and I've been asking my chat a lot here lately is, do we think anyone in any actual capacity plays Barbarian on the dev team? More specifically, does anyone on the class design team actually play Barbarian in any sort of meaningful capacity? Meaning, yeah, I'm sure some of them play Barbarian to test stuff, maybe, but do the people, if any, that actually play Barbarian on the dev team play it in any sort of high end game content? And the reason I ask this is because I've been leveling my Necromancer now in the season. So I would like to say that I'm a barbarian main. So typically I'll level my barb to 100. That's what I did in the preseason. Then I level a necro to 100. I leveled my barbarian in this season to 100. Now I'm leveling my necro. And the more I play the necro, the more obvious it is that it's just so much of a better class than barbarian. It's insane. Um, and like what I want to kind of do today is just go through, look at like the different patch notes and stuff for Barbarian that are coming up, and talk about just how it's really not going to solve any of the core issues, and really what the core issues are for the class. So here, this is their like design philosophy here that they have for Barbarian coming up, which is speed up the flow of combat in the early game by increasing fury generation of basic skills, and add late game excitement by increasing the power of unique items. Okay. The first thing absolutely needed to happen. Leveling as a barbarian in the early game is atrocious. It is so painful, especially when you compare it to what some of the other classes can do in the early game. So this is great. The second one, which is adding late game excitement by increasing the power of unique items, that's not what Barb needs in the end game. Will it help? I guess. I don't know. We'll get into that, but really, I'll also talk about like the real core issues of the end game thing here a little bit. But now let's dive into the actual barbarian changes. Okay. So fury generation increased across the board for like the basic skills. That's great. Like I said, that'll help the early game. It'll scale into the end game, but in the end game, I don't. It's less of an issue, so it doesn't matter. Double swing damage buff, rupture buff, charge vulnerability, violent upheaval. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like okay. It's like a step in the right direction, right? But it's not really what the class kind of needs overall as a whole. And like the unique buffs here. So like one of the ones that actually like annoys me a lot is this 100,000 steps. Like yeah, adding movement speed to it is great, right? But so, like with this unique, so you get a free foot stomp when you get the walking arsenal buff, right? That's how it works. You get a free foot stomp that gives you fury, but it can only happen like every 30 seconds or something. How cool would it be if they made it so like there's no internal cooldown? And you could pair this up with, like the aspects that let you get earthquakes when you stomp. You could be going around swapping weapons, smashing stuff, getting free foot stomps, dropping earthquakes. It'd be so cool. Like the thematically that would be awesome and it would be fun. I don't know why they have to like hamstring it so bad. Oh shit, I just said hamstring. Now they're going to nerf hamstring. Oh, hamstring nerfs confirmed, guys. I'm sorry. No, but like it's just crazy to me, man, that they think that like these little tiny buffs to uniques are what Barb needs. When really like the deep rooted issue of the class, and the best way to show it is to just talk about the Paragon board. Especially when I compare my Barb's Paragon board to my Necros. So I do a lot of that comparing because that's the two classes I play the most. So a really great example here is that the Barbarian Paragon board, all of the legendary nodes are terrible. There's only one legendary node that people will usually take, and it's the Warbinger. And it's not even an offensive node. It just gives us more fortify. It's a defensive node. So that's one of the main issues why Barb's damage just does not scale into the end game like the other classes. Like, let's look at some examples here. Weapons Master. Swapping weapons grants you 3 Fury. Okay. Like, what? Like, all right, sure. Let's see what else we got here. Decimator. Oh man, two-handed slap. It's a lucky hit, by the way, so it's not even 100% chance. Lucky hit. Two-handed slashing weapon attacks have up to a 8% chance to make enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. It's only a 8% lucky hit chance to give 2 seconds of vulnerability. Just by taking Steel Grasp, and this talent is already better than that legendary Paragon node. That is absolutely insane. What else we got? What else we got? Bonebreaker. With your two-handed bludgeoning weapon, overpowers, by the way. Not even a guarantee. Overpowers with your two-handed bludgeoning weapons, stun enemies for 1 second, and grant you 20% of your max life as fortify. Again, not even an offensive node. Not even guaranteed to happen. It's just when you overpower. Flawless Technique. Damaging enemies with one-handed weapons increases your critical strike chance by 1% for 2 seconds, up to 5%. This can only happen once per skill cast or twice per second while channeling Whirlwind. So what you're telling me is I can get up to 5% crit, or up to 10% crit as Whirlwind. And Whirlwind doesn't even need the help getting crit because it has the aspect that gives it, like, most people put it on a two-handed weapon. So you're going to have 48% just free crit as Whirlwind anyway. Okay, let's look at some other ones here. Hemorrhage. Enemies that have been affected by your bleeding for 3 or more seconds take 12% increased damage from you. Oh, wow, it's an actual offensive one. Nice. Still, like, not very good. They have to already have been bleeding for 3 seconds to start taking extra damage from you. It's just not very good. Blood Rage. Killing a bleeding enemy has a 10% chance to grant berserking for 5 seconds. So not even a guarantee. You have only a 10% chance to get berserking for 5 seconds when you kill an enemy that's bleeding. Carnage. While berserking, critical strikes increase your attack speed by 2% up to 8% for 6 seconds. So another condition. You have to be berserking, which typically does not last very long at all. So you have to crit while berserking to get more attack speed for 6 seconds. Oh yeah, we already. So there's only 3 that I haven't, like that. So that's like one of the real blatant things to me is stuff like that, because especially like I said, you compare it to the Necromancer boards, and I mean I can show you the Necromancer boards too. Anyone that's not familiar with the Necromancer boards. And I apologize in advance that the form of this video is maybe kind of all over the place, but I'm just letting my thoughts flow here a little bit. So let's get in here and I'll show you guys the Paragon board for Necro for anyone that's not familiar with it. So here's the main thing. So all right, a lot of the legendary nodes, I think just about all the legendary nodes for Necromancer they just give you a buff. No conditions, really. There are some conditions, but they're super simple. But you're just getting free damage. So, like Cult Leader, all your minions are just gonna do more damage. Hulking Monstrosity, your Golem just gets more life and just does more damage. Scent of Death, when there's 2 corpses nearby, you get DR. When there's no corpses, you just get more damage. Flesh Eater, consuming 5 corpses gives you 40% more damage. You're consuming corpses all the time as a Necro. This is just so free, it's insane. Let's see. Bone Graft. Hitting enemies with bone skills increases your damage and essence. Like there's no time stipulation on this. It's literally just like keep hitting stuff, do more damage. Blood begets blood. You know, let's see. Grab blood orbs, get more damage. Bloodbath. When you're guaranteed to overpower, you just do 50% more damage. Wither, just more shadow damage for free. There's yeah, like it's just like that's why like classes like Necro actually scale into the end game. Their Paragon board just gives them damage. Barbarian's board just gives them nothing. And that's honestly, I think that's where Blizzard needs to look if they're trying to make Barbarian a better class. They've they've kind of gutted it. They just kept getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed in the beginning of the game because people were like, "Oh, this class is going to be too overpowered. They get 4 weapons." And then it got nerfed into the ground, and then it never got buffed back up, really. They're now trying to buff it back up, but it's not in the right places. They really need to take a look into the Paragon board. They need to take a look at the barbarian aspects a lot more. And honestly, like, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, the barbarian hearts for the season are trash. They're terrible, especially when you compare them to the necromancer hearts. And again, that's what I do a lot of my comparison for is because I play those are the two classes that I primarily play. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just it like just going through this and looking at this, I was just really disappointed, and it like I said, it just makes me wonder like if anyone on the class balance team even really plays barbarian, because like all of this stuff just makes me feel like they don't, because anybody could play barbarian for any meaningful amount of time. Plenty of content creators do. There's tons of videos out there, so I'm just adding mine to the sea of madness, if you will, on that. But yeah, like anyone playing Barbarian in any meaningful capacity can see the class has major issues and just does not scale into the end game very well at all. But that's pretty much it, guys. Those are my thoughts. I just wanted to make this video and get it out there because it's been on my mind a lot. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Uh, if you like the video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. You can come check me out over on Twitch. I'm live there pretty much every day, streaming Diablo 4. I'll have a link in the description. I mean, that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I will catch you all later. See you.